Game of Thrones has spent several years as a national sensation, winning awards, critical praise, and die-hard fans along the way. While you could spend your spare time poring over George R.R. Martin's books and Reddit posts like Samuel Tarley in the Citadel's library, concocting theories about why Varys is secretly a Mormon, and publicly mourning the death of Marjorie, you'll wind up driving yourself and everyone around you crazy. And, to paraphrase the Starks, the series finale is coming, eventually. It's time to catch up on all those non-Thrones shows you've been neglecting.
Number 1. Rome. Rome could easily have achieved Game of Thrones' popularity. It's a shame that it was cancelled after only 2 seasons. Rome never got the audience it needed to keep it on the screen, and it was crazy expensive to produce.
Number 2. Vikings. Vikings follows the story of Ragnar Lothbrok, a farmer who ultimately becomes the King of Denmark, as he terrorizes France and England with his constant raids. He is joined by his troubled brother Rollo, his first wife Lagertha, and the shipbuilder Floki in his quest.
Number 3. Black Sails. Sex, violence, and nudity, Black Sails doesn't lack in these elements. Airing on Stars and set as a prequel to Treasure Island, the plot follows the adventure of one of the most feared and infamous pirates of Golden Age, Captain Flint. On an island overrun with thieves, pirates, and prostitutes, Flint has to maintain control.
Number 4. House of Cards. If plot twists, backstabbing, and political intrigue are what you love most about Game of Thrones, then House of Cards is for you. The plot follows politicians of various rank and influence in Washington, D.C., with familiar faces like Kevin Spacey and Kate Mara. The whole cast thrives under Fincher's direction. Fincher has pulled off this drama in the best way possible. Taking the plunge of 13 episodes per season is not easy.
Number 5. The Tudors. The Tudors is the story of Henry VIII's reign over England. It's about his political control over the region. Just like Game of Thrones, this show is all about politics and the struggle for power. It might not be historically accurate, but it still is a lot of fun to watch all the 4 seasons.
Number 6. Spartacus. Spartacus is a series crammed with some intense action, violence, and drama, everything you'd expect from a TV show like Game of Thrones. Though this show isn't dull in fantasy, it has gladiators with swords. Did I mention that there are tons of plot betrayals? You can stream the entire thing on Netflix.
Number 7. Boardwalk Empire. Taking place amidst a thriving illegal alcohol business during the era of Prohibition, when the political landscape was laced with violence and corruption, Boardwalk Empire is a story about Nucky Thompson, a politician who also happens to be a mobster, playing both sides to his gain. Due to his lavish lifestyle, the federal government starts looking into him, making life a little bit harder for our man than it already is.
Number 8. The Bastard Executioner. The Bastard Executioner started airing September 2015. After watching the 1 season aired before it was cancelled, I was convinced that this medieval epic deserved a place in this list of shows like Game of Thrones.
Number 9. The Last Kingdom. It's a shame that more people don't know about this series or the story it's based on. Just like Game of Thrones, The Last Kingdom is based on a series of books called the Saxon Stories. Set during 10th century in England at the time when Viking invasions were at their peak, The Last Kingdom is a story about Uhtred, an orphan born in Northumbria who must choose between the people who raised him and his native country. Number 10. The 100. Brutal, agonizing character deaths. If you love getting to know a cast member over a series of episodes, or whole seasons, before having them ripped away from you, this show might be for you. But the tough-minded adaptation has more going for it than sheer agony. The backroom politics of its post-apocalyptic world call to mind the best deal-making we've seen in King's Landing, and the thorny moral dilemmas are just as rich as any of the tough choices Jon Snow's had to make up at the Wall. Don't let the show's soapy veneer fool you. This is dark, thoughtful material in a slick, teen-friendly package.